Hi everyone, welcome to Top Tier Tips. Alright, last week we went over a neutral game. This week we're going to be going over a bit more of a slightly intricate aspect of DOA called free canceling. Alright, what free canceling entails is being able to just control how you end up making use of your strings. Alright, so being able to remain unpredictable, or being able to just be able to keep your opponent on your toes. Because I find in DOA5 a large aspect of the game is to be able to mix things up on the fly and to be able to keep your opponent guessing. So I find that this is a pretty crucial element to strengthening your offensive capabilities. Alright, and as you can guess, I find it a good way to be able to increase that mix-up potential is through utilizing free canceling. Alright, what is free canceling? Well, it's a tactic where you stop a string before it is formally completed. Alright, what I'm saying here is that you're trying to refer to the notion that DOA5 is very string intensive. This means that a lot of attacks in DOA5 or DOA5 last round, a lot of attacks in this game form parts of move chains or strings. Like I'll even could put on some strings right here just to show you, to give you a bit of an idea. Looking to the left side there, this is what ends up pertaining to Christie's her move list. You may notice that her move list is made up very highly around strings. I mean, there aren't really that many, or offense in this game isn't really that mainly intense around just single strikes. It's mostly based around different strings. What free canceling is being able to stop at any part within the string. Alright. How you end up going about free canceling is there's two primary ways to do it. The first way to free cancel is just simply delay. So that means do an attack like P, then just simply take a little pause in between. If you end up exceeding the potential delay between the attacks, so what that means is if you end up pushing the buttons in quick succession, you'll end up doing a string. Like a lot of characters have strings that can be just using just P or with K, so different strings like that. Alright, so I'll use a bit of an example of a string here. With Christie, based around her general gameplay, she's going to be making use of her P strings, or also known as 5P, and her 6P strings. Usually to avoid end up going into an attack that you don't necessarily want. So if you want to just stop, so if you have like a 5-hit string here, like Christie's PPPPP, you can end up just stopping where you are and you'll end up the string. Another way how you can also stop is you could use the guard button, which is also signified by an H. So if you only want to do a certain amount of attacks, then you could just press H and you'll stop any further attacks, even if you end up buffering in successive attacks. Alright, here I'll show you a bit of an example of how free canceling can be considerably useful. For instance, if you want to like do Christie's like just 3K, which can have multiple follow-ups. So if you end up pressing maybe the K too hard, instead of getting 3KK, you could 3KH, and you'll just stop right there. Like if you don't want to accidentally get 3KK or 3KP. Yeah, but for just if you're trying to avoid delays, that's where H tends to come in more handy. But if you actually want to try and make use of like string delays, as opposed to just straight up free canceling, then you can just make sure then don't press H, because that will end up halting the string right there. I'll also show you another time where free canceling may also which I know ends up helping me out a little bit with well, with Ayane here. An example is if you just want to get KK'd and if you want to do 3K after. I find when I press KK then 3K without free canceling, she tends to just do a KK 2K. Because the delay window on the low kick can be actually be quite long. But if you end up doing KKH then 3K, then it will always get you the 3K. Alright, I'll end up showing you a character which actually tends to benefit from free canceling quite a bit is Hitomi. For Hitomi, for a lot of moves when she puts them on her opponent's, a lot of moves that she put on her opponent's guard, I mean her quick pokes generally aren't necessarily that negative. Like she's a lot of stuff around like -6 or -9. Like if you actually stop there if you stop a string there in general, you can be 7-frame throw punished. But she also has quite a lot of different strings. So a strategy that Hitomi can have when she gets in close is utilizing free cancels. So just stopping your strings at different spots. When you combine this with delays, you can definitely keep the opponents in their toes. Because the main focus is to make them figure out where are they going to finish the string. So if you are a Hitomi player or interested in either practicing free canceling or just interested in wanting to work on kind of a free cancel pressure, then Hitomi is a pretty decent choice for that. So just to keep in note when you're kind of focusing around free canceling, the main thing is to take note is when are you going to want to use to just simply delay, or when are you going to make use of H. If you want to try and just work like kind of a single poke, like if you like doing P, 6P, 2P. One thing that I do sometimes I practice is just simply try practicing pressing H after every move. So you input your move and put H right after. This will make sure you'll only get maybe just a single poke, or you'll just get the attacks that you want without getting excessive movements. I practice this sometimes to help me out when I am doing a combo, say with Christie's off of her low punch hold. It's off of her 7P, which actually technically has follow-ups. To avoid getting the follow-ups, I usually have to push H. if you don't end up pushing H, you can get 7 PP kind of easily. So I usually just push the H to make sure it only does just 7p. So if you end up, especially during juggles, you may want to make use of H right there, as opposed to just simply delaying it, because sometimes some moves may have large delay windows and that can throw you off. So in that case, you would have to use H. Overall, that's all there is just for this week. So mainly this is just the fairly short section here, just on free canceling. So just main things to note is, when in doubt, if you're free canceling, especially if you're free canceling during stun, then just use the H button to try and get an instant cancel. Whereas delaying usually requires you to have to take note of the frames of a move. So you could check with the move details to see how many recovery frames the move has, to give you an idea of, to give you a bit more of idea with delay windows. However, I mean, the move details is actually a lot more complex than you may think. I mean, as a result of that, I'm actually going to go over that in a later section, so you can get a bit of an idea how it functions, because there's actually a lot of technical details about it. But anyways, thanks for tuning in this week, guys, and just stay tuned for more top tier tips, action to help you out and level up your game in DOA 5. Thank you.